Hello there. Today's book is Snow White and the Three Giants by Sherry Gosling and illustrated by Jordi Municioplanus. Let's get started. Since meeting the seven long ago, Snow White knew the path to their cottage well. But one day, because she was busy talking to the woodland creatures, she took a wrong turn. She arrived at a very different cottage instead. At first, Snow White didn't notice. But then she stepped inside. "Oh my!" Snow White exclaimed. Instead of a neat row of 7 little chairs, she saw 3 enormous chairs. Instead of the cozy kitchen she knew so well, a fire roared and crackled in an enormous hearth. Then, just as Snow White discovered the enormous dining room, the ground began to shake. "Oh no!" she gasped. With a groan, the door opened and in came 3 of the tallest people Snow White had ever seen. They lumbered straight toward her. "What should I do now?" thought Snow White. Snow White cleared her throat and stepped into view. "Excuse me," she said. The giants jumped back in surprise. "I'm sorry," Snow White continued. "I let myself in by mistake." "Oh," said the largest giant. "You scared us. We don't get visitors often." "But now that you're here," said the least big giant, "you should join us for dinner." The least big giant helped her climb up on his chair. "You'll need some cushions," he said. "And here is a small plate and glass," said the middle-sized giant. "Thank you," said Snow White. "You're all so kind." The next day, Snow White told the 7 about her adventure. "Gi giants?" stammered Bashful. Sleepy yawned. "Are they dangerous?" "Not at all," Snow White said. "Don't trust them," Grumpy said. "You can't trust anyone that tall." Back at the castle, Snow White addressed 10 party invitations and made a list of the delicious food she'd make. All she needed now was a game to get everyone laughing. On the day of the party, Snow White announced, "We are going to play Snap. I'll point out something about me, and if it's true for you, shout Snap. And then it's someone else's turn." "Oh, I love games like this," chuckled the doc. "Here we go," said Snow White, thinking for a moment. "I have 2 eyes." "Snap!" yelled the 7. "Snap!" yelled the giants. Snow White turned to Bashful. Who was up next? I have 2 ears." "Snap!" called the 7. "Snap!" called the giants. It was the largest giant's turn. "Ahem, I have 1 nose." "Snap!" shouted the 7. "Snap!" shouted the giants. "I guess we have a lot in common after all," Grumpy muttered. "Yes, you do," said Snow White. "And there's one more thing you have in common. You are all my friends." And that is the end of the story. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.